can you share a framework for managing and resolving conflicts as spouses? Based on what you said in terms of some of the things that cause cheating, I think some of it does come from our inability to admit that we're wrong and also resolve conflict. And sometimes it might be because we don't know how to do it. So can you share with us a way or ways in which we can manage and resolve conflicts as spouses?
Well, the first thing you have to understand is that conflict is wonderful. Conflict is good. Conflict is healthy. It just depends on how you manage it. The beauty of any relationship, right, is the eruption of conflicts, right, and the management of those conflicts. Conflicts don't always come, you know, it's a part of our lives. Now, there's no foolproof way of doing things, but there's some things, there's some researches that have been done, and you know, I believe those researches, you know, definitely would help any relationship. The first thing is you have to be direct. Don't blame your partner, you know, because when you start with the blame game all the time, when you keep on blaming, what happens is that, you know, you're always pointing at accusing figures, and at a point in time, the person will look at you and say to you, do you think you're even perfect? We don't want to go near there. We want to be vulnerable to each other. Let the other person know that, see, if I were in your shoes, I probably would have done the same thing. And that is the truth. You know, so being direct, you know, about, you know, the problem, and don't be over negative. Don't be overly negative. You know, whatever it is, don't be overly negative when it comes to any of these conflicts. Try techniques, you know, that your partner would align with. You know, try listening. We love to talk, but we do not listen. Your partner can talk and then you listen and even take notes, because that makes the person know that, fine, this person seems to be listening to me. Everybody wants to be listened to. So you have to take time to listen and not block. You know, there's sometimes you do as if you're listening, you have actually blocked the person out. You must make concerted effort not to block the person out, but to listen. And then say exactly the way you feel without mincing words. Say exactly the way you feel. When we say without mincing word, we also mean being very, very careful and respectful. Remember, in any relationship, if there's no respect, really there's no relationship. You really have to respect the other person's feelings and be empathetic. You know, so, you know, try as much as possible to, you know, to say whatever it is you want to say, but don't be brutal about it, you know, because we could be brutally truthful and everything you've said will be true, but it's too brutal. It's like, you know, you want to scratch your body. There's a way you can scratch your body that blood will not come out and you still enjoy it. Now imagine going to take a fork and scratching your body. It is still scratching, but you're killing yourself, you know, so that is not where we want to go to. Then always learn to pick your battles. It's not all battle you're going to fight. You know, some women and some men, they are ready in fact, they're battle ready all the time. If you say 1, they say 10. You know, so you must find a way to learn that it's not all battles like fights, right? And the one that wins the battle is not the one that, you know, that beats up the other person. Is the one that was beaten, you know, and is willing not to raise up his hand or her hand to beat the other person. You know, so sometimes some people, your spouse might say some things that, you know, they're not really very nice things, but you keep your mouth shut. And you look for those days that are calmer and talk to the person or your spouse, your husband or your wife about those things you're not really very happy with. We have talked about the art of listening, and then we love to generalize as human beings. You're always coming late, but it's not true. You're always doing this to me. Don't use that word always.